Demography of Europe, 2025 edition. Okay, so this isn't entirely all of Europe. We are checking out Eurostat, so the EU. Nonetheless, I think some of this info is going to be really interesting for us. So let's start with a growing population. So EU's population increased by 0.4%. So that doesn't really seem like much, right? I don't know. I just feel like 0.4%, probably not normal. I think we might find out though. So it's like 5 major countries that I found out are the ones that are driving 66% of the population. That's going to be Germany, France, Italy, Spain, and Poland. Okay. Germany got a lot of people. For some reason, I maybe thought that France had a higher population, but I guess not. Germany holding 19% of the population. Holy cow. All right, so we got a nice little graph here. It's going to show us population. We had a little dip down in 2021. Not that many babies in that year. Looks like we're starting to go up a little bit more. 449.31 million in the European Union. So, ooh, look at this. We got the population density, 2023 though. Okay, so Germany, oh wow. Belgium is really dense, and so is Netherlands. This whole area, that's pretty crazy. And then Denmark, a little bit darker. Poland's pretty dense. I had no idea. Wow, 119 persons per kilometer squared. Kilometer squared? Let's see here. Not a lot up in Finland, Iceland, 4 persons, Finland, Norway, Sweden, a little bit more. What about down in here? Italy. Okay. Yeah, Italy's about as dark as Poland, Czechia, or isn't that Czech Republic? Czech Republic? I never know which one you guys want to be called. Is it Czechia or Czech Republic? Switzerland, France, surprisingly. I mean, it's really big. Definitely the largest landmass. I don't know, though. Maybe if you took Sweden's landmass, it would be bigger than France's. All right, we'll just keep going. More women than men. There are 4.4% more women than men in the EU. Fellas, you got this. I guess there's a lot of people that are having like trouble finding partners right now. Women per 100 men, 2024. Who is the outlier up here? Latvia, 115.5. Wow, okay. And then the other outlier, Malta, 88.6. We got Lithuania at 111. We got Estonia at 111 as well. Yeah, so Latvia, dude, what is going on down in Malta? There is just not a lot of women down in Malta. Only 88 women per 100 men. That seems extremely low. Okay, so we got an aging population. Share of those aged 80 plus increased from 3.8% to 6.1% between 2004 and 2024. So we're getting a lot older people. I would imagine this has just got to do with healthcare. Like healthcare is just getting better as our populations grow and as time innovations come through healthcare. But that's a huge jump, 3.8% to 6.1%. Now, the share of those aged below 15, so kids under 15, decreased from 16.2% to 14.6% between 2004 and 2024. So we're having less kids and our older population is living longer. This is going to be like a massive imbalance decades from now when the older generation kind of dies off. There's going to be a lot less people, right? I mean, statistics don't lie. Like that's just going to happen. We're having less and less kids. All right. Wow. Look at this. Holy cow. Population aged 20 to 64 years as a percentage of the total population. Just a massive drop from 61, where are we at here? 61.3%. And then what the hell happened in 2011? I can adjust this. Let's look at this. Population aged less than 15 years. Wow. Even from 2004, drop from 16.2 all the way down to 15.4%. And then it just kind of like stagnated for years from 2009 to 2013. And then we've just been dropping and dropping and dropping consistently. I love graphs like this. It makes everything so much more visual to like understand exactly what's going on. Population aged 15 to 19 years. All right, so looks like we might have bottomed out here, making a little uptrend, but 6.2% all the way down to 5.3% as of last year. And then let's do the population aged 80 years or over. Holy cow, look at that. It's just like a straight line up, 3.8%. to 6.1%. Nuts. The median age of the population in the EU is 44.7 years old. So among the EU countries, the highest median age on the 1st of January 2024 was observed in Italy, 48.7 years old. Okay, so Italians have a little bit higher of an older generation, from 44 years old as the average up to 48. That's pretty crazy. Malta, 39.8, and then Cyprus at 40.6 years. Let's take a look at this little graph here. The median age. Wow. Can I do, okay, that's the European Union. No, let's not do countries. I can look at men and women. Oh, wow. So the women are living longer, of course. They always do. Men are dumb and do crazy things that cause them to die. And then, of course, war and things like that. But I don't think there was any major wars from like 2004 to 2024. Yeah, so there is a major population change happening in Europe. So fewer births, more deaths. Live births are decreasing, number of deaths increasing. More deaths than births since 2012. What? It can't be that long, really? The crude birth rate is dropping. So the next time somebody tells you that humans are overpopulating the world, just pull open this chart and be like, yeah, that's not happening. We're actually going down. Okay, so 1.38 live births per woman, down from 1.44 in 2003, and well below the replacement level of 2.1. Yeah, I guess that's the replacement level that we have to have for our population to stay the same. Also, the age of women at birth of first child is increasing to 29.8 years. That's not too old, I guess, right? Almost 30, about 30 exactly. First child at 30, maybe, I don't know. I feel like maybe we should have kids earlier. I started at like 22, I think. Yeah, I was 22. My wife was 24 or 25 when we had our first kid. So we were a little bit younger. All right, so our total fertility rate, 1.38, so we are at the lowest point we've been in the last 20 years. At least in Europe, not here in America. I have no idea what ours is. Okay, so this is a hot topic. Let's look at population diversity, immigration and immigration. In 2023, almost 6 million international immigrants. That is a lot of people. That's crazy. 6 million? So the largest numbers of persons immigrating were recorded in Germany, Spain, Italy, and France. Okay, maybe that's why they have so much population. They had 6 million people go into the country in 2023. What is this? What do we got? In many EU countries. In many EU countries, a large majority of immigrants are non-nationals. All right. Wow, look at that. What is this? Austria? Can we do the European Union as a whole? There we go. Okay. So here are the immigrants total over since 2010. Wow. What year was this? 2022. About 7 million people, immigrants total into the European Union. That is bonkers. It went from 4 million to 8 million or 7 million. Pardon me. And then 2023, we're still at about 6 million. That's a lot of immigrants. That's crazy. I think we got about probably something similar in America. What was it? Yeah, during Biden's term, I think he let in about, it's in the millions. Was it 4 or 5 million, 6 million, something like that? So I think we're pretty comparable in immigrants between the European Union and America. Almost 14 million EU citizens living in another EU country. Wow, that's a lot of people that like move to a different country. What are the major countries? All right, so Romania. There's so many EU citizens living in Romania. It's got to be taxes, right? Is it like taxes? Interesting. Next would be Italy, Poland, Portugal, and then it kind of balances out from Bulgaria. And then last is Malta. Malta is always the outlier, such a small country. So Syrians, Moroccans, and Albanians are the largest groups acquiring citizenship across EU countries. Oh, cool. We got a little acquisition of citizenship. All right. So the top 3 recipient countries of European citizenships in 2023, just said it, Syria, Morocco, Albania, and then citizens acquiring, what do we got here? So it looks like most of the citizens that have been acquiring citizenship is Syria, Morocco, Albania, Romania, Venezuela. Whoa, a lot of people coming from South America over. That's crazy. And then obviously Spain is granting it's 50%. That's crazy of all. Then you got Italy, France, Belgium, and then all the other at 5.6%. 106,496 acquired citizenships. Okay, so it's only 106,000 people have acquired citizenships, but what did we see here? What year was this? This was 2023, but 6 million came in and 100,000 got citizenship. That's bonkers. All right, marital status. Fewer marriages. Yeah, that's pretty common here as well. All right, so we got the marriage rate dropping. People aren't having babies. Is that why so many immigrants came into Europe over like the last decade or so? It's just because people aren't having babies, so they have to populate the countries with other people. So for anyone that's like upset about any type of immigration, and trust me, I have my qualms with immigration as well here in the United States, but it's like, you better get to having babies then. Like, we got to populate the countries. Nobody wants to have kids or get married. Everyone's older when they're getting married. In 2023, the oldest mean age at first marriage for women was observed in Spain, 36.9, and for men in Sweden, 37. 37 when you get married. That's... you're almost 40. 41% of births in the EU are outside of marriage. Okay. Oh, no problems with that. Oh, we can only do single countries on this one. What about divorce? What's going on with the divorce rate? Divorce rate fluctuating. In 2023, the crude divorce rate was 1.6 in the EU, with the highest rates observed in Latvia, 2.8 divorces per 1,000 people, and Lithuania, 2.5, and the lowest ones in Slovenia and Croatia. I said Slovenia videos, 2 of them. Really, really cool country. Here's all the way from 2003. Looks like it went up. European 2.1 number of divorces per 1,000. I'm gonna get this out of here. And it is dropping. Okay. All right, so all of this came from Eurostat. You guys, I'll have a little link to this down in the description below. Some interesting information on the population of the EU. I wonder how many countries are we missing out of the EU? Let's see here. Obviously, we don't have the UK, which would be a lot of data. Parts of Russia, Eastern Europe. Can I name this country? What country is this? I can't remember. We're not doing that right now. All right, so quite a bit, though. I didn't realize how many countries were in the EU. Greece, is this? Cyprus. Okay, that's Cyprus all the way over there. Fascinating. Interesting information. I love checking stuff like this out. It's just really, really cool. I wonder what kind of data we have on the US. So, all right, nonetheless, all right, appreciate you guys watching. I will see you in the next video. Peace.